I have just really one question, but I have many. But the question is, if my child is chosen for this program, can I refuse to have him in a regular class? Can every parent refuse to have their kid not in the class if they choose so?
You know, this is something that is being discussed at this point, and I don't have
an answer for me?
A clear answer for you.
And you didn't? No one on the board thought a parent would want to refuse?
Here's what we're looking at. We're looking at very high class sizes, which seems to be, and it is on behalf of the board, a very big concern. We're looking at very large class sizes, or we're looking at splits. If every parent came to us and said, we'll live with the class sizes, okay, that would be something that we would absolutely have to consider, right?
Definitely.
Okay. So I don't have a clear answer for you, but I would like to get back with you with a clear answer.
Okay. Now the other question is that the Anderson Elementary School is not having this problem?
The numbers are a little different at Anderson.
Have we swapped kids yet, or?
No. Well,
no?
We have a split at Anderson, the 3-4 grade levels.
Did you hear me? I have a kindergarten student. Does that have anything to do with me?
Well, the K-1 split was always on the plan for this year. That wasn't something that we added.
When were we?
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
I'm at Head Key. So this was always planned at Head Key?
No.
Because I went to kindergarten roundup and no one said anything to me.
Okay, no, it was not. It was at Anderson. That was
Okay, that's my next question. When did this problem occur? When did you find out?
Well, I mentioned before that the week leading up to school, we had several numbers enrolled, but we didn't have our minus numbers, and those would be our move-aways that we were not yet notified were gone. It's very hard to staff. I mean, when you have the luxury of saying, okay, we're just going to have these classrooms and hope we fill, and if they're low.
1 second, and your answers are very long. I have only a couple minutes.
Okay. Well, here's okay.
Well, wait. I'll go through my litany of questions so you can answer them if you're going to be long.
Well,
because
okay, wait a minute. I'm getting off point here. This is public comment. Generally, you get your answers in a return phone call, or we'll send you an email. It is public comment.
Okay.
So I won't answer anymore. I'm
sorry, but
coming off.
I only have a couple of minutes here. You know, I'm Catholic, so I'm pretty much looking at taking my kid out of your school and the rest of my children because you failed me. And you said you didn't have your minus, so you thought you had more students. So this problem has been here for a while. So you were gambling on hoping you had more students move away because you said you didn't know the minus students. So you already knew you had more, but you were hoping you had less. Is that what you just told me?
I really have to work with actual numbers. I'm sorry to say.
Do you have teachers qualified to teach these classes?
Yes.
Do they want to teach them? Where are they?
Mrs. Taylor, way over time. I know she answered
I know, but I'm going to. Can I go?
Go right ahead. Go ahead.
This is my meeting. We will run it the way I said we're running it. This is not a hockey game. This is not one of these things. This is a game. Let's get your comments. We'll get back with you with the answers.
Well,
And let's hear it.
I have more.
Well, how about the second round?
Well, it's 7:40. I've got a kindergartner.
Okay.
And he's at somebody's house being watched right now. So what do you
Can
think?
you finish up your questions in the next 15 seconds?
Thank you.
Let's
Wow.
I have seen the school system deteriorate over a number of years. I understand the budget constraints. Transportation is 7% of your budget, and it doesn't even include busing. I would like a review of busing. I think you indicated at the end of October an amendment to budgets could be made. I would like to at least see the freshman and sophomore bus, because they don't have the opportunities that juniors and seniors have for automobiles. The projected $50,000 to $500,000 from the Fed and state, everything that I've heard from the Obama administration's wording is that all is going to be much more than that. I would like you to visit that. The safety, in my mind, of the children of a school district is the #1 issue. And that, in my mind, is the most important. When you have children walking to school, and my grandchildren happen to live at the edge of Trenton near Oakwood Hospital, and they are going to walk from that point all the way to the high school, and that, to me, is utterly ridiculous and unsafe. And I wonder if the board is the board liable for any injuries taking this action? If something happens to a child. You can answer at the end of my 2 minutes. The board office is really fantastic. I really love this new facility. It's beautiful. The $34 million millage that was passed, that was people in Trenton that wanted their schools to be better. They did not want all these reductions, and busing is a keystone of the school systems. The cost is really, in my mind, I haven't seen what the budget figure would be for busing all 4 grades, let alone the first 2 grades, which need it more than the 3rd and 4th year. At this point, I would like someone to address, what did busing cost? Any idea?
Put busing back in for the high school would cost approximately $10,000 this year.
$10,000? You're kidding me. You almost have a $3 million budget surplus. You have a budget for 10 and 11 that is simply a figures on paper. Budgets are budgets. They're subject to change. They could increase, they could decrease, but you have $3 million in hand. If you have $3 million and $10,000 to bus children, you're avoiding a safety issue that I think you're going to be sorry, because if anything happens to any of these children, and by the way, if you look, I don't want to get into this, but there is a site where you can look at predators, and there are a lot of predators. And when you get into the issue of children walking in the dark, and a lot of them walking alone, I think you really need to reconsider that, especially for the first 2 years. Because the last 2 years, they're more subject to automobiles, more subject to friends, and more subject to not depend on busing. Now, please answer the question, will you reconsider this?
We'll continue to talk about this.
I asked, will you reconsider this?
To walk from my house in the dark to this high school and then tell me that that's appropriate for a 14-year-old girl. And if you can do that, look at my eyes, I'll handle it from there, okay? And I won't say another word. But I want a commitment from you guys that you will personally, at 6:30 in the morning, because I think we're half an hour, a mile, and you will walk with me. I mean, can I get that commitment from you guys? I mean, this is our children. Is anybody willing to step up to the plate and say, yeah, they'll do that? Or, well, you know what? I will take the time off work myself too.
We'll look at busing and how it's going. I will give you that.
Oh, wait, you won't walk with me? You won't walk in our children's shoes? once.
I run at 5, so I'm not a good person. I'm out on the streets at 5, so I'm not a good person to answer.
Slow down and walk with us.